Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's McJacker72 here, and for today's video, and as we all know by then, E3 this year will be making a huge comeback for 2021 as a virtual event coming from June 12th to June 15th. Not only that, on the E3 news page, they also did confirm which gaming companies will be participating for this year for up to E3 2021, and one of them is going to be Nintendo. Not only does this mark the return of Nintendo returning as and participating for this year of E3, since E3 2020 was obviously canceled due to the whole pandemic, this also possibly might get the return of the E3 Nintendo Direct presentation, since we haven't gotten one since 2019 and all, and this will be a huge perfect timing of the E3 Nintendo Directs making a huge comeback this year. As we are all excited, Doug Bowser, who is the president of Nintendo, is also very excited as well for E3, as he also stated this on Twitter. And here's what Doug Bowser has to say on Twitter. It's going to be great to get the video game industry back together with our fans this June. We'll make the virtual format fun and engaging. Looking forward to seeing you all in June. Really, Doug Bowser is very excited like all of us. And really, I just cannot wait to see what sort of E3 Nintendo Direct are going to be doing this year, because we haven't gotten one in a while. We also did get the February Nintendo Direct back a couple months ago. And they did reveal huge highlights of which games are going to be coming for the Nintendo Switch, but now that I think about it, if they're ever going to confirm of the E3 Nintendo Directs at some point, what do we exactly expect of what they are going to announce? Like, which of the big highlights they have? Like, which games will they announce? Any sort of DLC? Which is why the entire video is going to be me discussing and predicting of what to expect for E3 2021 of Nintendo, if they're going to be announcing a brand new E3 Nintendo Direct 2021 or something like that. That whole title right there, I said, is a mouthful, but with all that out of the way, let's just go and start predicting. Okay, I gotta get the obvious factor out of the way. Challenger Pack 10 is gonna get revealed. Not Challenger Pack 11, though. Personally, well, I think it's kinda obvious that Challenger Pack 11 will be released before the end of 2021. Keep in mind that the second Fighters Pass will release all fighters before the end of 2021, which was December 31st, 2021, which is kind of not a while, because, I mean, first of all, it's April, and June is like a couple months away for E3. Not only that, December is going to take a while, because once June comes, it's going to take like half of the entire year for that to come. But I personally think that Challenger Pack 11 will be revealed before the end of 2021. And as for Challenger Pack 10, I think it's obvious that Challenger Pack 10 is going to get revealed for E3 as part of like the DLC highlight announcements, because I mean, we expect either some sort of a big announcement, and I already made a prediction of which is the perfect DLC announcement for this year as well, and that's just pretty much the obvious factor. Alright, now let's talk about some small announcements, starting with Sonic Colors. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this, because there is a rumor that came out recently saying that Sonic Colors will begin a remastered for the Nintendo Switch, according to the, German dubbing studios who, dub the Sonic games and all, and I don't personally play Sonic Colors. I heard that this was everyone's first game and the childhood and all, and I only played the game on the DS, but Sonic Colors would be a good thing, or if not, maybe Sega and all could maybe, and I mean maybe, this is my prediction, I kind of think that they're going to make a brand new Sonic game. And to be honest, I gotta be very honest with you all, but I think Sonic, this year is going to be the 30th anniversary of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, obviously. But they need to at least do something, because in my opinion, the franchise has been kind of going a bit downhill for a while. I mean, Sonic Mania did save the franchise, but Sonic Forces, I've stated this a few times in my past videos that the game was okay. It's just they had some big potentials on making that game such a great one. I mean, if they didn't hype Sonic Forces, then the game would have been kind of, I don't know, fun and all, but we need at least some sort of big Sonic announcement for this year. Sonic Colors Remaster would be a good thing, maybe Sonic Unleash, but that's just a small thing, a small announcement. Speaking of small announcements, since June is going to be where E3 is held, really, that's kind of the obvious fact. But Super Mario, like Super Mario Golf Super Rush is going to be getting like some sort of a small highlight. This game was announced in the February Nintendo Direct, and Mario Golf Super Rush. Now, I did predicted this in my Nintendo February Direct, and I was right, and I knew they're gonna at least, I don't know, announce a brand new sports game that isn't tennis, and Mario Golf Super Rush is a perfect example of a brand new sort of sports game. Even though, it's not technically new. There were a few Mario Golf games back then, but we haven't gotten one in like quite a while. Nintendo has been more focused than Mario on the whole tennis aspect, and I'm glad they're going back to the whole Mario Golf. So I put this on this list because it's kind of a small highlight of what's to come for Mario Golf Super Rush, and I'll just, show off some, like, a few announcements, show off a few characters and what the gameplay is. It's kind of like that small highlight. Now, this isn't technically a small announcement. This should have been like a big announcement. But in my opinion, I find this prediction kind of like a half. It's like a half minor announcement and a half big announcement at the same time. And that is a brand new Donkey Kong game. The last Donkey Kong game we had was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. And no, the ported game back in 2017 does not count. All right, even though it's a Donkey Kong game on the Switch, I think it's kind of best from the fact that Donkey Kong could really get some sort of a big game. Not maybe just, because the last time we had it was back in 2014 and it was in the Wii U and all. So it's time for Donkey Kong to have its triumphant return. Not only that, I think this year is also like the 40th anniversary of the Donkey Kong franchise. So that would be a good thing. Now, franchises anniversaries is always a good thing. Take Mario, for example. He had a lot of big merchandise and all. But then again, Donkey Kong Zelda is a really big, it's kind of, in my opinion, I think Zelda was a huge one to get a big sort of anniversary celebration, unlike Donkey Kong, because even though it is the 40th anniversary of Donkey Kong, I just kind of think Zelda would be a good fit in, seeing how fans are more focused on Zelda than Donkey Kong. But I want a new Donkey Kong game nonetheless. Speaking of Zelda, the Zelda 35th anniversary is really what I am hoping for this year. Now, the whole Zelda 35th anniversary I'm going to be talking about is sort of like a bunch of Zelda games, for example. And the thing is, if they're going to make some sort of a Zelda 35th anniversary Nintendo Direct, just like we did with Mario last year, I think that would be a good way, but if not, they might at least save it for the E3 2021. And let's start out with the first game that was announced back in the February Nintendo Direct. Let's talk about Zelda Skyward Sword HD. First off, they're gonna show a bit of like a 3 to 5 minute trailer of the ported game, talking about what the story is, even talking about its controls, like the motion controls, even showing off the Skyward Sword Joy-Con edition, like Prince. I have no idea what I'm saying right now, but Skyward Sword, it would be a huge perfect time in for that. And plus, since June is when E3 is gonna take place, and this game is gonna be coming out on July 2021, I think it's a good time for Skyward Sword to get some big highlights as well. And now, this was also announced back in the February Nintendo Direct, and that was the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity DLC Expansion Pass. It will be, like, the first wave of the Expansion Pass will be containing 2 brand new characters expanded the roster, which is most likely Robbie and Purah, judging by the key art we saw from the DLC Expansion Pass trailer. So, what do we expect? Well, obviously, the characters and all, and they already expected some sort of a brand new characters, new outfits and all, and maybe they could announce a bit of a tease for Wave 2, because Wave 2 is also going to be coming out, but it will not be released until November 2021. So this is just a minor DLC announcement and all, and that's about it. Since I talked about Skyward Sword HD, there is another rumor going on that is similar to Sonic Colors Remastered. That was Zelda Twilight Princess HD and Zelda Wind Waker HD coming to the Switch as well. About a couple months ago, after the announcement of Skyward Sword HD for the Nintendo Switch, there was a rumor going on Twitter saying that these 2 games will also be getting some sort of a ported HD game to the Switch. Now, keep in mind that these 2 games are in the Wii U version, and you know what, I think Nintendo are just gonna do that again with the Nintendo Switch again as well. So, but it would be cool to see how they updated the graphics and the whole entire story of Zelda Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD. But I just like to see what they do. And now, finally, the last thing for the whole Zelda 30th anniversary is the big game that we are all expecting. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. The sequel was announced back in 2019 at E3, and that was the only teaser we have gotten. Plus, this was also some sort of a tease that Aonuma, back in the Nintendo Direct February one, he did stated that there will be some updates for this year, so I think the best timing for this game to get at least a huge update was E3 2021. This game was teased a few times, even on like a Nintendo magazine, talking about the story of what the sequel is going to be about, but we're going to see some big details of what's going to be coming up for the sequel of Breath of the Wild 2, so this is a huge one that fans are expecting as well. Now, I think I'm kind of getting my expectations high, but Metroid Prime 4. The game was announced back at E3 2017, and it turns out that in 2019, the game has been scrapped entirely. Well, not the game entirely. It's more likely of the entire concept itself, and they decided to give out the entire development team to Retro Studios. And Retro Studios are the one who made the games such as the modern Donkey Kong games and the other Metroid Prime games. So this really would be a good choice for Retro Studios to be developing Metroid Prime 4. The thing is, it's been like over 2 years since the whole like restart of the whole game development, and I think it could be a good time to see what Metroid Prime 4 is gonna give us. We haven't seen any sort of details yet, but this year would be a very perfect time. And I mean, all these sequels I'm talking about really need some dire needs of getting some big, some big updates or teases. Just like Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, I think this game will be a perfect time to be revealed as well. Bayonetta 3. This game was announced back at the Game Awards 2017, but since then, there hasn't been any sort of big updates from this game at all. Though Platinum Games has been talking about it in a few articles before, and not only that, the recent interview about it, I forgot who the producer's name of Platinum Games is, or I think that's the founder, I cannot recall, but they did state it that we all need to forget about Bayonetta 3 and just basically talk about new projects. That doesn't mean they scrap Bayonetta 3 entirely. They just more are talking about the fans. So, the fans are trying, I think they're just trying to say that the fans need to stop being impatient about Bayonetta 3. As much as a huge anticipating patient this game is, I think it's time that we all need to, just stop thinking about this game, talk about other Platinum Games style projects. They do have some sort of I forgot. There was another project that Platinum Games was making, but I cannot recall. But like I said, that doesn't mean they scrapped the entire project entirely. The thing is, they did state that they will reveal this game at the right time. Meaning that if they want to reveal it, they have to reveal it at some point. Bayonetta 3 is a huge game for Bayonetta fans and Nintendo Switch users. And plus, we haven't gotten any sort of other details or what the gameplay looks like, or even what the characters are, or the story at all. We haven't gotten one since the Game Awards 2017, but E3, I keep saying it a lot of times throughout this video, E3 is a good time. Okay, this next part is gonna get my expectations high, but Mario Kart 9 for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The thing is, though, is that I'm just not a fan of it. I just kind of get bored of that game for a while. Even though it was a huge highlight when the Switch first released back in 2017. In my opinion, I just think Nintendo and I forgot who also made the Mario Kart games, but the thing is, I just want Nintendo to make a brand new Mario Kart game that isn't a spin-off of some sorts. For example, even though Mario Kart Tour is an okay game, and Mario Kart Home Circuit was a random choice it's kind of like a random business choice, but I want a brand new Mario Kart game that isn't a Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a very fun game, but they just need to at least update with a brand new installment, with brand new characters, diverse roster, fresh new courses and modes and all, a brand new time attack system, basically anything that updates this entire game. And that's just all I gotta say when it comes to the new installment of Mario Kart. And finally, to end out this video, the game that was announced back in also in the Nintendo February Nintendo Direct, and this was Splatoon 3. This announcement came out of nowhere. The thing is though, is that this game will not come out till 2022, meaning next year, and E3, I think they're gonna show up a bit of a few details about the game, or what the story is about, because, I mean, the thing is, Splatoon 2, they did kind of have some sort of a story. Splatoon 1, it kind of did as well. And the Octo expansion, they did give out a huge in-depth lore about the whole Octo expansion pass, and especially everything about the Splatoon 2 DLC. Splatoon 3, though, it looks like they did have more story within, because they did show like a wasteland and all, and I think one of the Splatfests actually had some sort of like a disaster or wasteland theme. So I think this would be a good thing and a good story, and what entirely happened to the whole thing. And I like to see how they did it with Splatoon 3. I only played a bit of Splatoon 1, not Splatoon 2, but I want to see how they do it with Splatoon 3. And now, with all that out of the way, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below on my predictions of what we'll all expect for E3 2021. Let me know if you guys are all excited for this year. And with all that out of the way, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos. I'll see you guys next time. Remember this, once a legend, always a legend.
Like a Hellcat.